Thanks ever så mycket och we love you so much. From the families Ekeberg, Rickfors, Edvinsson, Adolfsson, Torgvisto och
Thank you, Mary. Now, Ingrid and Roy's nephew, Christopher. When Ingrid asked me if I would say a few words today, I felt privileged to have the opportunity, since I have so many wonderful memories with Roy. My first memory of Roy was when I was about 4 years old. Ingrid and Roy had come to Sweden for Christmas. Roy and I were sitting in front of the fireplace in my grandmother's house, roasting marshmallows in the open fire. And I'd never seen that done before, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Later I found out that Roy also remembered these days because of all the snow. I think it became clear to Roy that visiting Sweden in the wintertime was not his cup of tea. Roy did not like the cold. I didn't really know Roy that well until I came over from Sweden to go to college here in the U.S. Ingrid and Roy became my second family, and I got to know both of them well over the years. And I got to see what wonderful people they were. Kind, generous, and full of life. Despite the fact that we were a couple of generations apart, I felt we became great friends. But not only did Ingrid and Roy open up their house and their lives for me, they offered the same hospitality and love for a good friend of mine, Johan. Johan also came to the U.S. to pursue a college career and enjoy the good company of Roy as much as I did. I know that Johan would have liked to been here today to tell a few stories for himself. At least tell you about all the dishes that the three of us used to make after one of Ingrid's large Christmas parties. Or of all the pennies we used to roll for the Christmas holidays from Roy's coin collection, which he would collect over the years for us to roll. Or the time he spiked his hair with hair gel when he left at my college graduation. Or the road trip we did to California to watch the Rose Parade. All wonderful memories. I think Roy really enjoyed introducing Johan and me to the American culture. He made us our first peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and boy, did we like those sandwiches. He also took us to our first symphony, to our first opera, and he helped me buy my first car. Roy was also there for advice, some better than others. I do remember Roy educating me on the etiquette of dating in the U.S. After not getting that second date, I was informed by a friend of the girl in question that I was a little too old-fashioned for her. So I told Roy the story, and we both had a good laugh. He reminded me that he was born in 1935. Another moment that comes to mind was my first office Christmas party. I had, fresh out of college, I had accepted a job for a public accounting firm starting in January, and I was invited to the December Christmas party. When I got the invitation, it was black tie optional. So immediately I picked up the phone and called Roy for some advice. And without any doubt, Roy specified that black tie was given on events like this. So I went to the store and rented a tuxedo for the party. As it turns out, there were two people at the party that had a tuxedo on. It was Chris, the new hire, and Tom, the office managing partner. After I had debriefed Roy on the evening, he said, "Well, at least you made an impression." And a couple of years later, Tom told me the exact same thing. I'm truly going to miss my friend Roy. The two things I've always remembered about Roy was his generosity and his kindness. And I was always proud to call him my friend.
we would like to open up the floor to anyone that would like to just say a few brief words that, wasn't on a program. And you're welcome to do so at this time. Just stand and introduce yourself and give us. Yes, Tim.
Hi, I'm nephew Tim, and he's actually my great uncle, but he's 15 years younger than my grandfather and 10 years older than my dad. So I always thought of him as more of an uncle than a great uncle, and technically speaking, anyway, he was a great uncle. But we just happened to live near each other most of my life, including my childhood. We lived in California near them, and I think that's when I first got to know them pretty well. We went to the Rose Bowl parade together and had a lot of good memories out there. And it seemed like just about every Christmas or so we'd get together and enjoy Aunt Ingrid's cooking, and Uncle Roy, I'm sure, had a part in that. And they always had such a beautiful home to entertain, and were so hospitable and generous to all of us. And always enjoyed hearing about Uncle Roy's world travels, and just really remember him the same way that everybody that's spoken so far, and just appreciate the relationship we've had with them, and enjoyed living near them, and just will greatly miss him. And I think Uncle Roy, on a funny side, it seemed like about every time we got together, we were eating with each other, so he wasn't too shy about telling us whether we had gained a little weight or lost a little weight. So he probably kept us all a little bit skinnier over the years, so we got to thank him for that. But surely we'll miss him, and we just are so thankful that he was in our lives.
Someone else?
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Martha Shook, and I just wanted to, I'm seeing you're driving, seeing Rick. I wanted to say a few words about a time in Roy's life that hasn't been mentioned here. I first encountered Roy when my family moved from Louisville, Kentucky to Scottsville in 1945. And at that time, I guess I encountered him first in 5th grade. We grew up together in Scottsville Baptist Church, and I remember several things. I remember Roy's amazing penmanship. When the rest of us wrote so badly, it seemed, he had almost a Spencerian-like script. I remember his vigorous return of the typewriter carriage in typing class, especially on a timed right when he was not doing very well, and it sort of ignited the whole class. And I remember one time in particular, our biology class had gone on a field trip in the spring, and we came to a creek, well, just a very, very narrow stream. But the teacher, Miss Bessie, suggested that one of the boys help one of the 3 girls across so that we wouldn't get our shoes wet. And Roy was gallant enough to do that. And he stood down there in the creek bed and held out his hand. Well, I was the first one across. And as I was in the air, ready to come down, I realized that Roy was standing on the only rock in the creek. There was nowhere to land but in the water. Also, I hope I gave a bit of a return to Roy today, because when I was a junior in high school, I began taking piano lessons in a town about 25 miles from Scottsville. I didn't yet have my driver's license, and my father and another father had alternated taking myself and a friend to piano lessons the year before, and Daddy decided it would be wonderful if he didn't have to do that again. So, since Roy was a few months older, he made a deal with him to take me to Glasgow to have piano